This story is already pretty wild, and I don't think that it's over yet. Nvidia, one of the largest computer hardware companies in the world, has allegedly been hit by a huge cyber attack. While the company has officially not confirmed or denied that this is in fact a cyber attack or any of the claims that have been made by the threat group, this is definitely a story that has really been pretty wild to watch unfold. In addition to this story, we're also going to be talking about different things that Anonymous is doing and the Conti ransomware group imploding. At least that's what it sure looks like. Now, on Nvidia, a South America-based ransomware group called Lapsus, and that is with a $sign at the end. I just thought that was pretty clever. They claim to have captured up to 1 terabyte of proprietary internal data from Nvidia. That claim was made as late as February 24th. Publicly, Nvidia has neither confirmed nor denied these claims. In fact, they haven't said anything about these claims. Other than that, an investigation is ongoing onto what exactly is going on and a reassurance that internal company functions have gone uninterrupted. So this was first reported by The Telegraph and then later reported by a number of other outlets, including Bleeping Computer. Up front, I want to say that no, this is not related to the war in Ukraine or any of that. This headline was actually thrown in with a bunch of other headlines that also weren't really related to that recently, and I just wanted to state up front that this is its own separate ransomware incident. The group behind this, Lapsus, is a South America-based group that claims to be apolitical, so this appears to just be a normal ransomware event. Finally, something normal. Sheesh. But even then, it's not even normal because this story kind of goes off the rails. I also want to say that while Nvidia hasn't confirmed or denied that any of this has happened at all, all of this could be complete bunk. This is all stuff that's been reported by a number of outlets, so that's why I kind of think that maybe there might be some validity behind it. However, for all we know, Nvidia will come out and say that their internal investigation revealed that there was not a hack that took place, and this group is really just making up things to try to gain attention. Not saying that that's what's happening either, but I just wanted to put that out there that until Nvidia themselves confirm that the cyber attack is taking place, I definitely would take things with a grain of salt. But if this did take place, this is pretty nuts. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the cyber attack itself, or should I say the first attack. Lapsus claims to have stolen up to 1 terabyte of Nvidia proprietary data. That goes not only from data on different Nvidia systems and products to also security information on employees like passwords and other things to also email records. Reportedly, one insider claimed that Nvidia was, quote, completely compromised. That's not good. Lapsus posted the claim of this cyber attack on Telegram and then started to threaten Nvidia that if they didn't respond to their demands, that they would start leaking information. After some time had passed initially and Nvidia didn't respond, the group leaked around 20 gigabytes of data, and that included a number of what they claimed to be employee password hashes. They also made other claims that they had been in Nvidia systems for over a week and they were able to escalate privileges fairly swiftly. Well, not long after that happened, Lapsus started to whine that something had happened, and this is where things get pretty wild. Lapsus, the ransomware group behind this attack, began to complain that they themselves had been hacked by, wait for it, Nvidia. That's right, Nvidia pulled a Nakasone and imposed some costs and allegedly ransomed Lapsus's internal system. The irony is that in these complaints, Lapsus claimed that Nvidia were criminals for doing this. Yeah, a ransomware group that was threatening to extort a company and steal money is complaining that that their victims are criminals. How does that make sense? All of this continues where Lapsus continues to raise a fuss on Telegram, basically threatening to leak even more data if Nvidia continued to not give in to their demands. Lately, it appears that their current demand is a removal of the light hash rate on Nvidia cards, and that basically reduces the amount of efficiency in crypto mining. They also leaked around 20 more gigabytes worth of data, including what they say is data that allows other people to remove the light hash rate on their Nvidia cards. In a statement to Bleeping Computer, Nvidia actually released a statement saying, quote, "We are investigating an incident incident, our business and commercial activities continue uninterrupted. We are still working to evaluate the nature and scope of the event and don't have any additional information to share at this time. So neither confirming nor denying really anything, just saying that an investigation is ongoing and not even saying that this is a cyber attack. For all we know, as far as Nvidia is concerned, this could just be a technical issue and just completely made up information. Now, while news of the initial hack were basically blown out of proportion because of the war in Ukraine and people freaking out that a cyber attack would invoke Article 5 of the NATO Charter, basically get us all nuked, the follow-on headlines like this have been buried by everything else going on. Some of those headlines include Anonymous making a new round of threats against Russia. In a recently posted video, Anonymous threatened the people of Russia for not standing up to Vladimir Putin and putting an end to the regime. They make the threat that on March 3rd, they will be withdrawing money from everybody's bank accounts and donating it to the government of Ukraine. Now, obviously, this is just a threat and there's, no evidence that this is actually going to happen. It's a pretty dramatic threat. In fact, we've seen Anonymous make a number of other threats online that haven't necessarily seen follow through. It also goes without saying that the Russian people are already looking at a pretty substantial amount of economic hardship because of this war. With Russia getting the boot from SWIFT and pretty much every economic sanction you can imagine put on them, the ruble, Russia's currency, is about to be hyperinflated, and Russian citizens will get the worst of it. Another one of Anonymous's Twitter accounts announced another campaign basically telling people to leave 5-star reviews on privately owned businesses in Russia and included in the review information about the war in Ukraine, hoping to get information on the war past Russian online censors and into the hands of Russian citizens. Obviously, as you can imagine, information is fairly controlled domestically within Russia, and the Russian citizens were told by the state that this would be a limited operation and not a full-scale invasion. So it seems a lot of people in Russia don't even realize the extent of what is happening right now. And it appears that Anonymous is trying to address that with this campaign. Now, simultaneous to that, the Conti ransomware group, also known as TrickBot, appears to have basically imploded. Their members include not only people from Russia, but also people from Ukraine. So in their initial statement pledging support for the Russian government, as you can imagine, their Ukrainian members weren't too thrilled. So they revised the statement, basically saying that they're not aligned with the government, but it was too little too late, and one Ukrainian member decided to leave the group and leak a lot of information to journalists online, including chat history and messaging logs from the group itself. It's a pretty extensive amount of information, basically showing all kinds of events from past ransomware operations to other kinds of internal matters. That member also claimed to have even more data that they were planning on leaking in the future. Needless to say, that was a controversial decision within Conti to immediately side with the Russian government and in effect alienate its Ukrainian members. So we're obviously going to be keeping up with the Nvidia storyline because that's pretty crazy, and until we get some confirmation on what happened, take it all with a grain of salt. For all we know, it's all noise. Nothing is substantiated until we get some official confirmation. And as for the Anonymous threats and as for Conti, we're obviously paying attention to that. So hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. And in the meantime, here's a playlist full of everything that you need to know about what's going on in cyberspace and in the information domain with regards to the war in Ukraine. So check that out. There's also some educational stuff in there as well that you can familiarize yourself with to better understand the concepts and the fundamentals of what's going on. So with all that, I will see you all next time. Bye.